Hey y'all, it's Mama Beth. I'm back in the kitchen again. I've cleaned up after dinner and came to have a little sit down with you. I've made some more cookies because my husband likes them very much and my daughter really likes them, and I decided I might as well make a second batch. And I'm getting ready to make some Nutella brownies. They've got Nutella and Oreos in them, and I thought I'd make that recipe. And an interesting little thing, I first saw Nutella, I was an au pair in Belgium, and if you don't know what an au pair is, it's a student who takes care of a child. Well, I had taken French for 5 years, and I was waiting tables. It was my senior year of high school. A couple came into the restaurant where I was working, and I waited on them, and they were Belgian, and she was very pregnant, and she asked if I knew where Belgium was, and I decided to be a smart aleck, and I took everything in French, spoke French with them the entire time. Little did I know that half the country is Flemish, but they speak everything. They are very more lingual than Americans. So everyone spoke English, they spoke French and Flemish, and you know, I found Nutella when I was over there, and it's so interesting that it's back here. When I came over there, they used it as a spread on bread, and they were like, the advertising said, it makes your bread taste like cake. And I thought, well, how stupid, just get cake. But anyway, I tried it, and I liked it, and I came back and couldn't remember the name of it, and when I found it in the grocery store and they started advertising it again, I was like, well, I'll be. And I found a recipe today, and I thought, you know what, Madeline would like that, so I'm gonna make her some of these little brownies, and they've got Oreos in them and with Nutella in the mix, and we'll see how it turns out. It might be just a gimmick to get me to buy Nutella because it's expensive, but anyhow, I'm gonna do that. And wanted to sit and talk with you. I wanted to talk about having patience, and if I'd had money for it or thought about it, I'd have gotten the Guns N' Roses song Patience to play at the beginning of this video, because that's pretty appropriate. I have a hard time with patience. I don't have a lot of patience. I have no patience for fools. But as you get older, you learn what has to be done right now and right away, and what can wait. And with that, many of you know that if you've been following my Twitter or from Facebook or wherever, and you're seeing this, you know that I'm a spoonie. And what is a spoonie, some of you are asking, or you may have seen me arguing on Twitter with somebody that uses spoon in their company web address when it's just an Etsy local place, local thing, one woman shop, and she's using the name and disability, and it's a crock of shit. But anyway, I'm not gonna go into that. But spoons are pretty important to me and a lot of people, in fact 3% of the population, because we all have autoimmune disease. And spoonies came about, we started using the spoon because of an essay written back in 2003 by Christine Miserandino, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, she has lupus, and that's an autoimmune disease. And she was trying to explain to her friend about how she only had so much energy a day and how she had to conserve her energy. And she went around the diner and she gathered up spoons, and she used those spoons to explain that each activity that you do during the day takes up so much energy, and you have to kind of conserve it. And it's a great thing. Google spoon theory and it'll come up and you can read it. There's a Wikipedia page about it. Everything to do with spoons started from there. But I have a couple problems with, and I've written notes. I've got my notes here if you see it reflected in my glasses. I have a couple problems with that because it's an oversimplification. We don't start every day with the same amount of spoons. Different days you get different amounts. Sometimes you don't sleep well. Sometimes no matter how much you sleep, you don't have enough energy for the day. You don't have the same amount as you had maybe the day before. Maybe it rained, maybe it snowed. Weather changes affect my rheumatoid arthritis, which is very different than osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis is a wearing down of the joint and the cartilage, and it's normal wear and tear that's just gone too far. Rheumatoid arthritis attacks the connective tissues in the body. It attacks your joints, it attacks the meniscus between your organs, the connective tissue. Everything has connective tissue in it. And basically it's your body thinking that you're the enemy. and everything that it used to fight off disease and colds and everything is turning back on you. So autoimmune diseases they're pretty difficult to deal with. Rheumatoid arthritis isn't just like having arthritis. It's not just in my joints. It affects everything. It affects my whole body. It makes me real tired. But I've been on about a little over 10-year journey with this. I started out when I was in my 20s, actually. And there goes the dog. Sorry, you know, I've got my wieners. And they're going. Hang on just a second. I apologize. Boys, stop. Back in my 20s, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. And that's a disease of the thyroid where you have constant inflammation, and I have low goiter, and I have to take Synthroid for it. And it caused other problems. I think it caused miscarriage, and thyroid can really mess you up. I always had to eat very, very little to keep my weight down, and I still struggle with my weight. I've lost a lot of weight recently. The last year and 9 months, I've lost about 200 pounds. So I got real fat, but I've done a real good job trying to lose it. I've had doctor's help and, you know, strict diet and, you know, having surgery, and it's just a lot of things. But anyway, thank God for the weight loss because it makes things a lot easier. It makes it easier on my joints. But anyway, back to the spoon theory. You don't get those same spoons in every day, and everything affects it, whether you're excited about somebody coming to see you, if you're depressed, if you've got a lot of stress on you. All these things can affect your pain level, your energy level, how you're able to cope with it, and it sucks because you really don't have a whole lot of control. You can rest. I rest a lot, but a lot of times I can't sleep, so I'm up. And I have days, like I've had, this is the 6th day in a row that I've had good. But I'm on prednisone right now, and I'm tapering off. So my energy level is going to go down. It's going to be a little bit harder, and I'll have to get a little bit wiser with my energy. I'm going to have to save my spoons a little bit more. But anyway, it's been real nice these last 6 days. But then it rained today. Now I feel like shit. So I'm very achy. Sitting here is hurting my hips, my knees and feet. My feet are really swollen right now. If you look at my hands, you can see my hands look really fat. They hurt. And but 10 years ago, I had been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes because I was given a Seroquel for sleep. And if you know anything about that, it's an antipsychotic. I was in a class action lawsuit, sued and won. Anyway, it killed my pancreas, and it gave me type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. Now, type 2 diabetes is something different. Type 2, you often get as you get older, as you gain weight in your midsection. When I got type 1, I wasn't overweight. I was right size for my height. I was in good shape. But it just happened. And I'm also insulin resistant, which makes it more difficult. The reason I'm insulin resistant is because I have autoimmune diseases. Yay! Isn't that fun? But I have rheumatoid arthritis. I have Hashimoto's. I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I have Sjogren's, which affects the salivary glands and the mucous glands in your body. It's a pain. And I have fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia. Ooh, we've been hearing a lot about fibromyalgia, haven't we? We've been seeing all sorts of stuff with Miss Joy. She's talking about having fibromyalgia. Now listen, she may be a crackpot on a lot of her stuff, but don't make fun of her for having fibro, because I saw her tests and I know what it's like. And finally getting that diagnosis, it's a terrible diagnosis to get, but once you do get it, you're like, oh, at least something makes sense. So I kind of understand her emotions and how she's been so emotional. Now that's not saying that all the other stuff that she does is all well and good and forgiven. No, but lay off her for having fibro. She's been diagnosed. Saw her chart. And I think everybody in the world saw her chart. But anyway, that was the first thing I was diagnosed with. And it's real funny how I got that diagnosis, because I had gone to my regular GP who knew he was prescribing my Synthroid. He was trying to control my diabetes and doing a terrible job at it, because I was in the hospital about every month, It was awful. I missed so much work, and I was sick as a dog. I was in the ICU all the time because my sugar would stay high. My blood sugar, my blood glucose would stay so high for so long that my blood actually became acidic, and that causes a syndrome called diabetic ketoacidosis. And you'll hear me say DKA. Now, each time you get that, you have a 1 in 5 chance of dying. It's what killed Jerry Garcia, I believe. It's killed a lot of people. But people who have uncontrolled diabetes go into diabetic ketoacidosis, and you can go into a coma. And I have been at that stage. I've been hospitalized so many times. It's ridiculous. I think I'm in the 40s times now. I'm somewhere in there. But anyway, it sucks. It's painful and very, very sick. And it's very, very serious. So I was struggling with the diabetes, and I was trying to work. And I kept getting really, really tired in the middle of the day. Now, I drank a lot of coffee, too. And I was drinking like 2 pots of coffee a day, yet I would get so sleepy. It was like my eyes would want to roll back in my head. And I'd be on the way to go somewhere because I did marketing and sales for a radio company at that time. I was in school and doing all that because I went back to school to get my degrees in psychology. I was in business before that. But, you know, I kept thinking, what is wrong with me? Something's wrong. I slept last night. You know, why am I going to sleep? And I knew that I had problems with this shoulder because I opened the car door. I would try to open the car door, and it just would not work. But my doctor kept saying, oh, you just need more sleep. You're not sleeping well. You never sleep. You know, you've had insomnia since you were a teenager and blah, 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 and you're stressed and this and that and the other thing. And I kept saying, no, there's got to be something more. And he gave me Celebrex, I think, for, yeah, it was Celebrex for my shoulder. And that worked really well, worked really fast. And I was like, holy crap, that's great. But why am I still so tired? And finally, the diabetes got so bad, the episodes, that I had to find, he never could get me in to see an endocrinologist. And we're talking about, you know, ages. Where I lived, there weren't a lot. It was like a 2-hour drive to see an endocrinologist, and they were booked up for 6 months because everybody went to the same ones. There were just very few. And, of course, I was in a network with insurance. But I finally made a phone call and found a diabetologist, which is someone who specializes in only diabetes. And he was in Abingdon, Virginia. And let me tell you, he was sharp. He got me a pump real fast. And that made a huge difference. And it's been better controlled since then. My A1C, which is how they rate you over, it's an average of over 3 months, your A1C is. They want it to be at 6, and I think mine was at 7.1, and that was the best that it's ever been since I was diagnosed. And it's been as bad as 15 and 16. So, real hard to control my diabetes. But it's because of the autoimmune. My RA and Sjogren's and PCOS and Hashimoto's, they all work together to screw my system up. And, you know, when I was seeing the diabetologist, he said, you need to see a rheumatologist. And I'll send you to him. And he sent me to Tennessee. So I live in West Virginia. And this was when I lived in Virginia, but I have gone to doctors in West Virginia, in Tennessee, in Kentucky, and now I'm seeing a team in Cleveland Clinic. I have my regular roomie here. We call them roomies instead of a rheumatologist because it's just easier. But I have a team at Cleveland Clinic that's taking care of me now, and I really like them. They're doing a good job. But anyway, I'm trying to explain things so everybody can understand it easily. And I'm sure I'm not going to say everything right. And if I don't, you can correct me in the comments, or you can make your own damn video. But anyway, the spoon theory is pretty important, but remember that it's not perfect. It's not a perfect theory. You know, it changes every day. And these diseases are chronic, but not all of them are going to kill you. They're not all going to be, you know, fatal and what's the word I'm looking for? Progressive. They're not all progressive. Like fibromyalgia. You can get fibromyalgia and your pain level may be, say, at a 4. all the time, you know, and then go up and down just a little bit. Some people may have it and it's so bad it knocks them on their ass. Lady Gaga's got it, and her inflammation is in her hip right now, and hers is bad. Mine's pretty up there. I've been hospitalized with it, and just pain levels and inflammation levels, and your lab work comes back and it shows it, and you're just like, holy crap. But you can get it under control if you lower your stress and you try to take out the things in your life that make it hard for your body to heal. But some people have it just goes into remission with and all these autoimmune diseases can do that, which is awesome. I keep praying that'll happen. Oh my God, please let mine go into remission so I feel good all the time again. I miss that. I miss it bad. But some of them never do. Some people just keep having them at the same level. Now with rheumatoid arthritis, it's going to get worse. My joints are already swelling, and my toes and my fingers are starting to turn. And you know, you've seen the little old ladies with the hands that are down. Well, that happens. It's a progressive disease, and it doesn't just affect your joints, remember. So it gets you on the insides. It gets all the good stuff, all the things that make you work. So some of these, they will kill you over time. And if they don't kill you, the medicine will kill you, because this medicine sucks. Nobody has come up with a perfect solution for this. The first thing they put me on was prednisone. Well, prednisone makes my sugar go through the roof. Makes it even harder to control. I have to really monitor when I'm on prednisone. I'm on prednisone right now. That's why I feel good. But they also put me on Plaquenil. I was allergic to Plaquenil. I had a very bad allergic reaction to it while we were on vacation in Tennessee. Had to go to the ER and get treated for that. Plaquenil, if you're allergic to it, you usually don't show signs until you've been on it a week or more, which is scary because you think you're going to react to something like after the first dose. My grandmother had a friend who died from Plaquenil, and they didn't know until after she was already dead that she was on it and that she was having an allergic reaction to it. Small hospital, you know, doctors aren't familiar with everything. Nobody knows everything about everything. Believe me, I've had so many people tell me different things. It's crazy, especially about all these drugs and what they do to you. Enbrel is a biological. It's what we call a biologic. I was on it and I was doing so good. I was on it for like I think 8 months, and that's when I had my stroke. And that's real scary. Let me tell you, when you're my age and you realize that you've actually had a stroke, that's scary. And I started having seizures, and I'd never had a seizure before in my life. I started having grand mal seizures, and I had petit mal seizures. And my husband would have to tell me when I had the petit mal seizures because I didn't know. But the grand mal seizures, of course, I knew because I would completely black out and I would fall. And my husband and I have had some very dramatic situations with me, all because side effects to Enbrel. My stroke, thank God, was not a bad one. It did leave me with a few little side effects. I don't know if you can tell. My daughter says you cannot tell unless I try to fix it. But this eyebrow is lower and my mouth's a little lopsided, so part of it. But you know, you have to keep trying these medicines, and you go off one and then you go on another, and you keep trying and you keep trying. I've been on a chemotherapy drug called methotrexate. A lot of people take that, and it really worked great for me, and I miss it, and I'm going to go back on it again as soon as I get the okay from my doctor, because my liver's screwed up because I have Wilson's disease, and which is copper, and it was building up. My liver and my kidneys were really bad, and so they took me off all of my medicines that were helping with my RA and everything else. But hopefully we've got that straightened out. I've had surgery, and I've had a biopsy done and all sorts of different things, and you know, so we're working on getting me back on RA meds. But these RA meds, they're not like they tell you in the commercial. You know how the guy's swinging the golf club and so, oh, Enbrel's so great. You know, he's got psoriatic arthritis. You know, it's like it's on his skin, and he has physical effects as well, you know, like tiredness and things like that. With psoriatic arthritis, that's what it does. But yeah, he's out there swinging a golf club. I'm on a cane and a walker, and sometimes not even that. And those side effects that they talk about are very real, and they're scary as shit. Humira, all of them, they are some amazing drugs that work beautifully for some people, and other people can't take them. And I'm still trying to find the ones that I can take, but I'm going back on methotrexate, because let me tell you, that chemo makes you sick, you throw up, but I throw up all the time anyway. My stomach's always upset. So it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I would rather have the medication and not be in pain and be able to function better. So that's what we have to do, and you have to have patience with that. That's another thing. You gotta have patience in trying these medicines and figuring out what works for you. Now, you'll see Lyrica and Neurontin for fibro. You saw Joy shaking those pills. Oh, Lyrica, I'm taking Lyrica. Yeah, Lyrica. I took both Lyrica and gabapentin, which is Neurontin. Fell head first. I was on Lyrica, fell head first down the steps twice at my grandmother's house. I was taking care of my grandmother, and yeah, just lost my balance, tumbled. I have a friend whose father was on Lyrica and tripped over a curb and smashed his face, and he was an athlete. And yeah, it can make you very dizzy. There's side effects to go with all of this. Neurontin did the same thing, it made me too dizzy. I said, you know what, I would rather deal with having nerve pain than, and I have diabetic nerve pain as well, and my pinkies are numb, and it doesn't hurt like it used to in my feet, so that's good. But all of these medicines have side effects, and you have to kind of weigh the good against the bad and take what you can manage. And you know, then they have Cymbalta, which is an antidepressant, and that does help with fibro as well. I can't take it. My liver has screwed me up on getting any kind of help. But anyway, so those medicines that they talk about, yeah, some people get great results. Some people have a lot of problems with it. Let's see. Let me back up. Sorry, I'm reading my notes and I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm getting tired. It rained and I'm tired and I'm feeling it. And I've been busy this evening, so that's what's going on. I have to learn to be patient with myself and give myself time to do things. I can't do as much in a day as I used to, and there are some days that I have to say no to myself. I have to say no to other people. Some mornings I get up and there's just no way, and I have to cancel everything. I've canceled, Lord, I had a dentist fire me because I canceled so many times. I got a new dentist though, and I like them. They are wonderful people, but I don't blame him because I kept having to cancel my dental appointments, and because I would be in the hospital, or I would be so sick, or my inflammation level would be so high that it would be dangerous for him to work on me. And you know, just it's hard. You have to cancel things, and I've had to cancel lunches and evenings and dinners with friends, concerts, all because sick. Can't do it. Don't have the energy, and you know, just you cannot do but so much. You run out of those spoons. But yeah, it's been hard, and getting other people to understand and be patient with me and with anyone with an autoimmune disease, whether it's RA or lupus or whatever, fibro, you know, we all need patience. And just take some time. If you've got a friend who's got this crap, you know, be patient with them. Understand. And another thing, while I'm thinking about it, don't offer us any miracle cures. I have heard, and you know, I'm in support groups. I've got probably about 50,000 people that I'm connected to in support groups. We have tried everything from the turmeric, the cinnamon, the gin-soaked raisins, this doctor's crap and that doctor's crap. Stop. Believe me, we've tried it. If it would work, we would know by now. We'd all be doing it. You know, some things work for some people and don't work for others. But you know, gin-soaked raisins, really? Gin-soaked raisins, I can't even drink. All gin-soaked raisins are going to do for anybody is get them drunk. Now that's just stupid, so quit telling us that. And don't try to sell us your supplements from your multi-level marketing schemes. We don't want them. We can't take them. Our immune system, it needs to be suppressed. Our immune system is in hyperdrive. So when you take something that's going to up your immunity, that's hurting us. And half of these multi-level marketing things that I see all the time, and I'm not going to name them because I don't want to get sued, but they boost immunity. Well, that hurts people with autoimmune disease. Okay, that hurts the spoonies. So stop trying to sell us crap. Don't send us links to the Miracle Doctor's website with the book to buy and all that stuff. We don't have money to buy this. This medicine is expensive. All of this shit is expensive. The doctor's appointments, and if you don't have good insurance, you're screwed. You really don't have anything to lean back on. So don't try to sell us anything. Don't try to tell us what diet to be on. We've all tried vegan, vegetarianism, gluten-free, raw diet, pescatarian. You name it, I've tried it. I'm on high protein, low carb, and very low sugar. Unless my sugar's crashing, I don't eat sugar. All these cookies and things I'm baking, my husband gets them. The guys at work get them. And I send them to my daughter. So, you know, don't get on Google and start preaching to people with this stuff. You know, because believe me, we've Googled everything. And in the support groups, these women and men are amazing, and they research everything, and they try it. And we all try different stuff. I've tried everything. But, in fact, I can't think of much of that I haven't tried to cure this, except for the damn gin-soaked raisins, and I don't like gin. Never did. Anyway, so don't sell us that, and just be kind. If you have a friend that's got this nonsense, be patient with them. If you know they're having a rough day, take them dinner. You know, listen, there have been a lot of times that I've been real happy if I had had less pride and somebody had brought me, you know, a hamburger. Even, yeah, I'd take the bun off, but, you know, be kind, be supportive. And remember, nobody does this shit for attention, okay? Unless they've got Munchausen, and they want attention that way, and that's a psychological disorder, and you're not an armchair therapist, and if you don't have degrees, don't pretend to be one. So that's another thing that makes me mad. Armchair doctors and armchair therapists. If you don't have a degree, or 2 or 3, then don't sell yourself as a medical professional, okay? And we love you, but please, we have enough of that. But just be real nice to the people and be patient, and I'm keep getting notifications on this. And just remember that patience is something that has to be learned. Most important. You gotta learn it. It's taken me these 10 years to learn to have some patience. And I have days I struggle. I have days that, you know, I want to give up. But you can't do it. You got too many people important counting on you. And, you know, you have to learn to just take a step back. When we're young, we can run all the time. But when we're older, we have to learn to take a step back. So, I love you, and you love you, and I'm gonna get back and finish these goodies for my daughter so she can finally have her box full of goods, full of stuff from Mama. And I think I've even got part of her birthday present in there. Isn't that terrible? But anyway, I love you, and I will talk to y'all later. You have a good night. Bye-bye. Well, shit. Sorry about that. I couldn't figure out how to turn the thing off. No camera. Bye, y'all. Love you. Love yourself. Bye.